Ahoy! The Abyss Order has informed me that Inazuma's Sakoku decree is abolished. It is back to being an open nation as it was a year ago. As usual, it seems my brother is the one behind it all. At least he's not completely useless. Anyways, the Order was never bothered by Inazuma's closed nation policy. As you know, we can just open a portal and go anywhere, whenever we want, wherever we want. My subordinates have already collected numerous reports on people who have moved to different nations, and have some new opinions after this change, as soon as Sakoku decree was abolished. They have also observed some environmental changes around Inazuma region. I was asked to make this video by some cat in blue hat. What a stupid name. As you know, I'm too busy, so I asked the Order to post a commission in the Adventurers Guild to collect information on the people before they moved nations. Catherine already knows our ways. She will assign this task to my clueless brother as always. Let us begin. Please excuse my brother's behaviors in these reports.
Hello, I am Ether. I am at the edge of the thunderstorm that surrounds the nation of Inazuma. I don't understand where it is. Catherine told me this was the area, but where are the
Once the Sakoku decree was abolished, the Shogun dispersed the thunderstorm that was surrounding Inazuma. The Order has discovered many merchants and travelers going in and out of Inazuma after this change. I have also observed my brother bringing his miserable little boat to Liyue and Mondstadt.
Hello, this is Ether. I am with Atsuko in Liyue Harbor. She came here from Inazuma, is that right?
赤の他人
And you used a small wooden raft during your journey, yes?
うんともすんとも
But you were rescued by some Liyue boatmen.
ちんぷんかんぷん
This is good and all, but I still don't know why I'm not getting any
She has now returned to her home in Inazuma. Her parents are quite happy about it, so she's decided to stay with them a little longer before abandoning them again. Her parents already know about Atsuko's interest in traveling the world. All they want is for her to write letters to them when she's out adventuring.
Ether here, I am here with Jones in Inazuma's Rito. He says he used to work in, what was that, Dornman Port? But some people from Kanju Commission offered him a better job here in Rito. He thought he could visit the outside world with them and earn some money along the way, but now he's trapped in Inazuma. Now hand over the
Jones is now permanently traumatized by his experience in Inazuma. He says he'll never leave Mondstadt again. What a puss.
I feel like Catherine is hiding something from me. Anyways, I am with Li Xiao. He was in Inazuma as a representative for his merchant guild from Liyue, but now he's stranded here, and surprisingly, his little sister also snuck up on his boat during this trip. Now they're both stuck here. It reminds me of that time when Lumen tried.
Li Xiao returned back to Liyue Harbor. He too was homesick in Inazuma. For the time being, he will now only conduct business in Liyue.
Along with him is his bodyguard Master Chin. Now Chin here is a real tough guy. He is a champion from Crux Clash, and has beaten vision bearers in the past. He is in Inazuma to experience new sword techniques. Now that he's already escorted his employer, he has nothing else to do. Why can I not find any
Master Chin couldn't find any fighter of note in Inazuma, so he's back in Liyue too.
This here is Tigerly. She's the mischievous little sister of Li Xiao. She's the one who snuck up on his boat without telling him. She considers her brother as her idol. If only my sister would also
She followed her brother back to Liyue. What a weakling. These are all the people that moved once Inazuma was opened. There are also others who have some new things to say about this change. Amono says he had never once questioned the Shogun's decisions, and agrees with this change. I highly doubt that. Andu has noticed a lot more Outlanders in Inazuma after this change. Chiba used to inform the Outlanders that they needed a travel permit to leave Rito. Now he just talks about basic documents needed to conduct business. Abe Gonshiro now doesn't mention about the Sakoku decree. He is also struggling to keep his crush on Miss Kogeyama a secret. Such a one-sided love story. Poor guy will end up depressed. Furuya Noboru was very happy that Inazuma used to have less adventurers, which meant more treasures for him to find. Now he's worried about the competition and losing much of the treasures. You better worry, Noboru. There are a lot more people coming. Hasegawa was disappointed, as he couldn't use his fortune to buy dandelion wine or purchase silk from Liyue. He didn't care about vision bearers losing their visions, as there were very few of them. Now that Sakoku decree is abolished, he can import his favorite things again. At least this guy has his priorities sorted. Hiromi used to warn Outlanders to not stay on the streets for too long. Now he just warns them to keep their personal belongings close. He has a childhood friend in Liyue who he has a crush on, but she ended up becoming a treasure hoarder, and he became an officer. Hiromi is also the one who wrote letters in drifting bottles that my brother found in Dragon's Pine.
Oh look, someone actually loves me.
Inagi Hitomi mentioned in the past that many people who came to the shrine wished for the Sakoku decree to be lifted. Now people are visiting the shrine to thank the Electro Archon for granting their wishes. If only these people protested against their leader, it would have been lifted much earlier. Oh right, they did, but the Tri-Commission was working with Fatue. So the Shogun never knew about it. At least that's what they want us to believe. We know the Shogun saw everything, but didn't bother to do anything. Typical gods. Kaede used to think about closing her shop. She used to sell Inazuma souvenirs, like novels and dolls, out of which the most popular used to be Statue of the Shogun. But she had pulled it off the shelves, as there were very few customers. After the Sakoku decree was lifted, she is unable to handle the increased number of customers. She is waiting for the new edition of the Shogun's statue. Fun fact, the statue is actually approved the Shogun herself to be sold to anyone. In the past, Kogiyama asked for many documents from Outlanders before entering Inazuma. There used to be a residential permit and travel permit. Now she just asks for a few basic documents, and Outlanders are free to enter and travel Inazuma. Carpilia had trouble procuring dandelion wine from Mondstadt in the past. She even thought of using local Inazuma ingredients to make Mondstadt wine. But now, she's eagerly awaiting for the arrival of new wine from Mondstadt, and can't wait to drink it herself. Kobayashi is much more relaxed now. Earlier, he had to verify everyone's travel permit before allowing them to leave Rito. Now he just does some basic checks. Mikhail and Ludmilla in Mondstadt also talk about how easier it will be for Fatue to enter Inazuma. I'll be honest, these two always have the latest news. Obata was one of the fishermen who didn't leave fishing even during the Sakoku decree. Many fishermen left for other jobs, as fishing area were limited, and there were barely any customers coming. Obata loved his work, and decided to keep doing it. Now that the nation is opened, he is back to fishing in the vast ocean and has more customers. The fishermen that left before are also returning. Typical opportunists, they should learn something from the Chad Obata. Chiyu ran a franchise of Chu Trading Company. She was unhappy in the past, as she couldn't import many Liuai minerals, artifacts, and jewelry. Now her business is doing so great, that she's even thinking of opening another branch in Inazuma City. Ramsey believes his business will be stable soon, as it was before, now that the Sakoku decree is lifted. Robert came to Inazuma from Mondstadt. He had been in contact with his friend from Snezhnaya. In his time in Rito, he's struggling with his documents and applications. Now, he's thinking of starting a business in Inazuma. He says he is unable to get any response from his Snezhnayan friend in Imor. Little does he know that his friend was someone from Fatue. Sazeno is still crazy about the girl he met from Liuai. The girl he's obsessed with is Tingting. She has traveled to Mondstadt, Sumeru, Natlan, and Fontaine. She wonders if Sazeno will join her, now that the Sakoku decree is lifted. Shirai still acts like he knows everything even after the decree is abolished. He's a shady guy, don't go near him. Tang Wen is a researcher from Liuai, who was trapped in Inazuma. She continues to document the latest happenings in the nation. She was here long enough to miss the rite of parting of Rex Lapis, back in Liuai. She also apparently eats a lot of my brother's handmade food. Toda used to worry what effect the Sakoku decree of Inazuma will have on other nations. Now that the decree is abolished, she still worries what effect this new state of Inazuma will have on other nations. Even after the decree was lifted, Wahid's business hasn't improved. It is always the same few customers that visit his shop. I guess no one really cares about fertilizers, or this guy's fertilizers are useless. Shusha didn't have many visitors in the past, as there were very few foreign traders in Inazuma. Now she's so busy that she hasn't slept once in a few nights. Don't be like her, always have a work-life balance. Jaeger is still trapped in Rito, even after Sakoku decree. He complains of there not being any shops in Inazuma City that will cater to his taste in food. He only likes Miss Ryuko's cooking in Rito, so he chooses to stay here. Imagine trapping yourself at a single place, because you can't adapt to food elsewhere. No wonder he's so fat. Yurika now only asks documents for a new entry permit for foreign merchants. But she also asks some quote-unquote materials along with it, very suspicious. Yuzuzu used to always complain about the Sakoku decree and how it was limiting her adventures. Now she's preparing to leave on an adventure by herself. She even asked my brother for some tips. That's the last person anyone should rely on. And that concludes my report. I have to go now. There have been reports of some pyrolector wasting the Abyss Order's funds. These are the things I have to deal with every day. And ever since Dane's life, you know what? I got to go.